Alright, what's going on, guys? This is going to be chapter 2 of the beginner's guide, and we are right where we left off, walking in a very dark area. You are now exiting. Okay, so we first entered, now we're exiting.
Combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The great and lovely descent. Huh. So just one random house in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by brightness.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
See, I like
the tools
this.
available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Check out actually to play this game here. Oh. I don't even know if I can jump off. I feel like I've slipped off a couple times and there we go, finally fell. Good. Wanted me to fall. Spiral staircase to the middle of nowhere. Looks like a cassette tape. Oh no, it's not a cassette tape, just a light. I could imagine playing some like 007 on this. I hope something don't pop out and get me. It's one of them games where you just don't know what's going on, so it'd be simple to get scared.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Pretty good music though.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Man. It's like you never think playing a game like this would actually be fun, but I just want to keep going and see what's at the end. Because there has to be a reason why I'm doing this, and for it to even be a game, it's trying to explain something.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yep. This game is confusing the hell out of me. Did the door just open? Okay. So now we got door, and we are walking into the same exact room I was just in. They're gonna. Oh, I thought they were gonna circle me through the same exact room. Thought I was gonna go in the same room like 3 or 4 times.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
This looks like a never-ending staircase. There we go. Okay, outside the prison. One random light.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Weird.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Very weird. It's hard to understand what's going on. And it's really disturbing me. The game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. That'd actually be good. Other notes you see are left by other players. Beautiful. There's not going to be any notes because this game was never released. Yeah, you're not going to be able to read any notes.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played.
Oh,
this
sweet.
was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
Reasonable.
In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it? that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing.
Nothing to do here.
I could just get to know you through your
Don't listen to that guy.
I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much.
Free
It's
t-shirt.
because it felt like they let me have that connection. I
Need
felt as
other
though
side.
he was inviting me
Need other side
personally
door. Why
into
you
his world.
so...
And then I feel less lonely
Next
too.
game includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Very weird. Someday I'll meet the person who made this. I help people because of the internet. Good feeling I get. New room. Nice painting on the wall. Did you hear the chimes? They keep going, don't they? This is, this one here is unique, though, because I feel like if this was an actual game, and you got to leave notes for other people to read, I know it'd be a bunch of trolly messages just like this, though. And I want to see what that painting is. Yeah, it's just random notes. I need someone to talk to. This is a note. Don't listen to the other notes. I'm not safe. Nice. Finally got to the painting room. Devil Tower Star. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Well, I'm here now. Well, we're all here now. That'd be creepy if some people following me. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret. I don't lie. His terrible secret, he kept it well. Like, I read it and I just started walking away. I beat the game. More room.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Oh, creepy whispers.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Why are you doing this to me? What's this creepy noise? I don't like that at all. And here's the lamp. Typewriters. Jeez, man. It's like creeping me out in a way. I think they, please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are they having so much difficult talking? Speak, 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 speak. And the light goes out. Creepy ass game. Okay. Porn stars die.
Okay, this one is tough.
Okay. So I'm gonna be ending it again at this point, and Like I said the first time, guys, I will be doing probably 3 recordings a night. I think would be the best for me. I don't want to make them too long to where it's, you know, impossible to watch them. So this is about a good time to stop this one. This is episode 2, and just be ready the next day for episode 3. Every day I'll post an episode until the game is complete. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and I will be releasing, like I said, every day I'll be releasing one until this thing is over, and then I'll be picking up a new game. So peace out, guys. See you later.